Hi guys, I thought you might be interested to see what has happened in Boston Manor Park since Mum used to bring us over here as kids. So I've come in from the corner of Boston Gardens and Boston Manor Road at this end of the pond, and the pond was really in a terrible state for years. The fence collapsed and just a complete mess, but it's changed a bit since Don and I used to go fishing in here illegally. The house is still there, we'll get round to that in a minute. But this is the actual lake. They must have spent £1 million on it or more, a lot more. They've actually put reinforcements all the way around it, dug the whole things out, drained it completely, checked it for bombs from the Second World War, and they've also put in this lovely display area, have a viewing area where you can sort of sit and feed the ducks. It's fantastic the way they've done it. Really, they've really done it well, not cheaply at all. And as we come round to the front of the house, you'll see some changes there as well. But there's the lake on the far side. That's where we used to chuck in a few nylon lines and try and catch some fish. But you can see how beautifully they've done it. And then we're going to come round now to the where they've refurbished the house yet again. I'm trying to think what they've spent on this place over the last 25-30 years, but this part here is now a design school. The main house itself, again, I think they spent about 10 million on it in the last couple of years. This is a council, they've got no money, can't put anyone up anywhere, but we've got this. But it's lovely, they put this beautiful patio area at the front of it. I haven't been inside the house again for probably 10 years, but they say it's beautiful in there and we will go in. This is a cafe here, a new one. So again, beautiful benches, beautiful planters. They've done it really well when you look at it. And over here, you see the way these new paths have been done. And here's the big, I think that's a Lebanese cedar that Mum would sit us under for our picnics. And then I'll take a walk round to the front of the house here. Again, these paths have gone all the way around the park. They alone must have cost a fortune. They've been working on this for probably 3 years or more. And there's the gates now that will take you down to the ride if you go straight across. Got the places in there where Dad used to get the silkworm leaves, the mulberry leaves for the silkworms at St Anne's. And here's the front of the house. They've relayed all the lawn because there were so many lorries and bits here. The old stables on the right hand side, and the house itself looks fantastic the way it's been refurbished here. We probably never really took a lot of notice of it as kids, but they have done a fantastic job on it. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll come back round now and head down towards the tennis. Again, the paths have all been redone. These ones now go off down to another part of the woods, which I'll show you later, which has been turned over. Again, all this paving, new seats, waste bins and everything else has been put in. And over there you can see the new tennis courts. Now again, they're fantastic courts. They've got a big setup there. Coaches coming in, training you, can do it all online. They've got floodlights in there, so they're at night time. You might remember a little bit further past there where the gymnasium stuff is, that used to be a bowling rink. Remember, there used to be lawn bowls there. That's gone now, and that's all either gymnasium stuff or just fun stuff for the kids. And one of the things they've done amazingly well is the walled garden. If you recall, in there, that was completely overgrown. Can't get in there at the moment. Looks like they're doing something, but they've completely refurbed that, and it looks absolutely fantastic in there. They had a beer festival at the weekend, and it's gorgeous in there. Through the side, just to show you what the walled garden is like now and what they've done to it. This was just a complete shambles. They put all these beautiful raised beds in here. Again, lovely benching areas. There's a little cafe over there in the corner. It was obviously used as a beer store for the beer festival. Lovely lawn seating, borders. Again, spent a fortune on it. Got some apples there. Look a bit dodgy to me at the moment. Part of it. So, if you remember here, there used to be some horrible old changing rooms down the bottom of it, but they've completely converted this now into a beautiful area for sitting down having food. They've got a really nice cafe here, it does great coffee and cakes and so on, and a wonderful playground for the kids. Again, not a penny spared, it's beautifully done. More keep fit stuff over there, and loads of tables, and then they've also got a meeting room in here as well as the cafe. It's really worked well. Ella, come out of there. There's the kids' playground. Again, nothing cheap, everything's very expensively done. There's the meeting room where they hold classes on botany and all the rest of it. And again, all this used to be really awful, overgrown. In fact, there used to be an old wall there. You used to get tramps sleeping at night time over there. And then they've changed they've tarted up the changing rooms at the end, which used to be the toilet. The old fountain's gone, the water fountain's gone. And you see the M4 there with Beecham's behind it, or Smith Climb. And I'll head on down to the underneath the motorway now. And again, this used to be a complete shambles, just overgrown, dead ground. But at the top there, they built a basketball court, and they turned this part here into another car park. Now this metal roadway is just temporary while they're reinstalling a new footbridge at the end of the park in the corner where it goes over the canal, and then you can turn right to go up towards Hanwell, or turn left and walk right down into Brentford Dock. And then this is this big field that we used to see. You can see Sky TV over there in the back with their big windmill, and they had football matches. They still play football matches here, and the odd cricket match. But the bridge at the moment is being repaired, and they're building new stanchions and everything else for it. Field. Now, you may remember there used to be a cricket pavilion here, just here on the right hand side, before that enormous oak, and then the main cricket pitch that they played on every Sunday was there in the centre, but that's turned into a wildflower meadow now. And like a lot of these places around Hounslow, I don't know if it's the same where you are, but they call it rewilding. I call it saving money from the council not having to maintain the grounds. And this is the bridge with no beginning and no end, going nowhere. And this is going to be lifted by a crane, which is why all this stuff is down on the ground, and repositioned back over. This is where the bridge will go back. You can see the pads, the concrete pads they put down in there. I'd say they're probably nearly ready to get the bridge back, but as ever, it's taken way longer than they said it would. You can see where the Smith Climb building really comes up to the edge of the park now. And then, which you couldn't do before, you can now take a walk or a cycle or whatever all the way around the park. Over here again, it's been left wild. It's nice, it's great when all the wildflowers and everything else are out, and it's quite natural. I don't object to it being like this. And then you've got the canal on the other side of this. There was actually a pond here, but that seems to have dried up. And this pathway then continues all the way around the bottom of the park, and brings you back up to the far left-hand corner now. And there's a strange sort of encampment in there. That's where the canal, the River Brent, actually comes along down the back there, and they've got some sort of an encampment there. It's been there for years. It's got fences around it, and there's lots of hippies in there, but they keep themselves to themselves, well behaved. This also gives you an idea of how big the Smith Climb building has been over the years. However, that's now almost empty, so they're going to they've moved off somewhere else, and they're going to, some talk about turning it into a whacking great shopping centre like Westfield, but believe it when I see it. And this path then swings around to the left, up through the trees, and back up to the pond. So this is where the path splits off. The top one up to the right there goes back up to the pond, but just going to go along this lovely wooden trail. I think they call it the woodland trail. There's a couple of people in front who've been doing, as if they're catching moths or something, some sort of council thing. This is a beautiful trail that goes through the goes through the woods, that we used to ride soapboxes down with our four wheels and have lots of fun. It's a beautiful walk. The River Brent I was telling you about, so that runs parallel to the canal, and that's where I went paddleboarding once, but it's like something out of the hillbillies in the deep south in America, and I didn't feel safe at all. So I did a quick U-turn and went back down towards Brentford. And then as you come up to this path here, it brings you back up to underneath the motorway. And I'm sure you will have seen programmes on TV when they want a dodgy area or something to do with detectives or car chases. You'll see this part of the motorway time and time again on various actually it looks a bit like the deep south in Georgia with that bridge there, but if you have a look at the way, I mean, they've cleared it all up. It's been like this, to be fair, for a few years. Most of the graffiti's gone again, but that goes all the way down to the canal at that end, and then the path carries on over here and brings us up to the pond. This really is the bit where we used to go go-karting, down to this part. And again, sparing no expense, a nice little woodland path, raised decking over the dodgy bit of ground. Cara and I actually came here about 6 weeks ago. They do bat walks, and we came down here from the pond and we stood on this part here and watched all the bats flying in and out. It was great fun, very odd. So the two paths meet again and we head up to the last bit of the path towards the pond. But you can see what they've done. You know, they've really done lots of forestry work here and cleared out loads of the areas, and it's just made it so much more attractive. And they do tree walks and all sorts of different nature trail things here, and it really has transformed the place. And here we're coming up onto the pond now, and there we go, around the pond. Typical. Three little kids sitting there throwing handfuls of gravel at the ducks, and their two to say Eastern European mothers chatting away, stuffing their faces with their backs turned. I did ask them not to, but it didn't make a lot of difference. So this is the end of it. You can see there's quite a contrast there, the corner of Boston Manor House, and then just over peeking out to the right, those are student apartments. They're right next to St John's Church, right down at Brentford. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video.